Hey everybody, this is All the Things, and before we get jumping into today's book review, I just wanted to say that I got a new place. So check out my brand new office. I got this sweet new desk here. Probably talk about that in a different review. And I got my nice new bookshelf, so I keep all my books nice and organized. But yeah, enough about the new place. Today's book review is about a book called Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow. And again, this is on my iPad because I listened to it on an audiobook and I don't have the real book. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that. Okay. And this is basically a sequel to Yuval's earlier book, Sapiens, A Brief History of Mankind, which I did an earlier book review on. And I think you guys should watch that review if you're interested. I'll leave the link in the description. But Sapiens, the first book, which I already did a review on, is basically a comprehensive history of humankind from the very beginning, like cavemen, all the way up until now, and what has allowed us to differentiate ourselves from other animals and build houses and build the internet and cars and come to have all these societies and democracies and different religions and stuff like that. And it basically has the history of what has happened and then a little bit past that. So based on everything that has happened, really, maybe some other stuff will happen. And what is that other stuff? And then Homo Deus picks up right where Sapiens left off. And this really, really starts talking hardcore about really what might happen because of where we are now. What might happen because we have the internet, because medicine is advancing so much, because technology is advancing so much. Where are we going to be in 100 years, 200 years, and things like that. And so while Sapiens was more of a factual history with a little bit of speculation about the future, I feel like Homo Deus is purely speculation about the future, but in a way that's more like a group of thought experiments that allows you to think about really, this stuff might happen, and it might be good to think about it before it happens so that we are better equipped to deal with it or emotionally prepared to really live in certain societies. For instance, I think one of my favorite thought experiments that it puts out there is in the field of medicine, where in humans' previous history, a lot of the medicine that we've produced, be it prosthetic legs or Advil, or chemotherapy, has been to help people that are hurting, to help people that are missing legs, to help people that have a disease or something like that. And in the future, it very well may be likely that humans put our resources in medicine really not to help sick people, but to make perfectly fine people even better. Like to add prosthetics, like maybe I have two perfectly good eyes that have 20/20 vision and I get one of my eyes taken out and I get an eye put in that is a camera, and now I have much better vision. I have 100 megapixel vision or whatever. Maybe I integrate myself with the internet, or maybe I find a way to make myself live even longer, and so maybe I die when I'm 150. And what does that mean for everybody? Because it may also be true that if we're able to come up with advances like this, that not everybody is going to have access to these advances. And so maybe a very small amount of people, a few select elite, will become immortal, basically, or have very heightened powers that other people don't have and give them advantages in everyday life, and how that will affect our society. For instance, currently, I'm trying this free trial of this thing called Optimind, and I'll get into this later in a different review, but this stuff is supposed to, you're supposed to take it, and it's supposed to make you focus better and think better and just overall activate your mind, and the slogan is unleash your mind. But I'll have another video review on this when I'm done with this free trial. But this as an idea, we're coming out with supplements and things like this to take perfectly regular people, like I don't have anything wrong with me, and make us better. And what does that do to the society? Now we have enhanced people, regular people, and then people with disabilities. Now we have this whole new class of people. So that's one of the thought experiments that it talks about in here. And really, I think it just gives a lot of things that could happen, things that are likely to happen, and are we prepared for it? And really, what does that mean for us? So just like the earlier book, Sapiens, I think this is an excellent book for multiple people to read and then talk about. It's still a great book for an individual to read and think about, but I think that this type of book is an excellent conversation starter and an excellent book in general. So I think you should read it, but I think that other people that you know should read it. Maybe buy it for some other people or listen to it with some other people. Even just listen to a section of it or read a section of it with other people or in your book club or whatever, and then talk about it. This book, I think, is more about the conversation afterwards than the reading during. And so the book Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow by Yuval Noah Harari, I think is an excellent book, and an even better book if you have a conversation about it afterwards with somebody that read it. And if you want to ask questions to me, I've read it, so leave some comments below and we can have a conversation about it if you can't really find anybody else. But I would definitely recommend this book. Also, Homo Sapiens, or Sapiens, A Brief History of Mankind. That's also a great book. I think it's a better book to read before this and then read this kind of as a sequel. But if you want to just jump straight into this one because maybe you're not really concerned what happened in the past and you want to know what's going to happen in the future, or you want to think about what's going to happen in the future, this book is not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen in the future. This is all speculation. But if you want to look more towards the future, maybe you just skip to this book. And I think they're both great reads, but I would recommend reading Sapiens first and then Homo Deus. But very, very interesting thought experiments inside of this book. And I'll do a review of that Optimind stuff later, which I think was a kind of interesting dovetail. I happened to have it on my desk and I thought of it during this review. But Homo Deus.